Embark on a journey into the insightful words of David Hume with our latest addition to QuotientQuotables' Philosophical Musings playlist. Delve into the profound insights of David Hume, a Scottish philosopher, with this thought-provoking quote that challenges our understanding of cause and effect. Discover the power of experience and observation in shaping our beliefs. Explore timeless wisdom from the Scottish philosopher as we unravel thought-provoking quotes on religion, philosophy, and the complexities of human understanding. Join us on QuotientQuotables for thought-provoking content that will ignite your intellect and inspire critical thinking. Subscribe for a regular dose of inspiration and wisdom as we delve into David Hume's philosophical musings. Sorry for the overlay. Reason is, and ought only to be, the slave of the passions. We are only conscious of the present. All impressions are internal and perishing. External objects are entirely unknown to us. The mind is a kind of theater where ideas pass, shift, blend, unite, and divide with an incredible rapidity and variety. We have no idea of cause and effect, but by means of experience. The mind has no other idea of causation than it gathers from the constant conjunction of objects. We make the transition from an object to the idea of its usual attendant by a kind of magical faculty, which we in vain attempt to explain. There is no necessary connection between one object and another. Our belief in cause and effect is based on probability rather than certainty. Moral distinctions are not derived from reason. Moral sentiments are derived from our natural feelings of sympathy and benevolence. Virtue is nothing but a more refined and artificial form of self-love. Our actions are motivated by our passions, not by reason. Morality is relative to the society in which we live. Government is founded on opinion. The consent of the governed is the only foundation of government. The British Constitution is the best form of government. The purpose of government is to protect the rights of its citizens. A free society is one in which the government is limited in its power. The only way to prove the existence of God is through experience. There is no evidence for the existence of miracles. The concept of God is a product of human imagination. Religion is a harmful and superstitious practice. We should strive to live a rational and secular life. All the knowledge we can acquire concerning external objects by the senses resolves itself into two sorts, that of their existence and that of their qualities. It is a question of fact whether the senses afford us any assurance concerning the existence of objects independent of the mind, and this question can only be determined by experience. All the objects of human reason or inquiry may be divided into two classes, namely, relations of ideas and matters of fact. The only objects of the memory are impressions and ideas, and the only operation of the memory is the revival of impressions or ideas. All reasonings concerning matters of fact are founded on the relation of cause and effect. We have no other notion of cause and effect but that of certain objects, which have always been conjoined together, and that the idea of the one is inseparable from the idea of the other. Wherever we see a regular conjunction of objects, however extensive our experience may be, there is still room for doubt and uncertainty. The only way of avoiding this total uncertainty is to observe the constant conjunction of objects and infer the existence of one from the appearance of the other. The mind, having observed the frequent conjunction of objects, when it anticipates any one of them, is apt to form an idea of the other and to believe that it is future. This belief is the necessary result of experience and is the foundation of all our reasonings concerning matters of fact. We have no idea of external objects, distinct from the ideas of their sensible qualities. All the objects of human thought are nothing but modifications of a mind, which is itself but a system or train of different perceptions. It appears, then, that the ideas of space and time are nothing but the faint images of these impressions, and that the originals themselves are not, properly speaking, the objects of the senses. The mind is a kind of theater, where several perceptions successively make their appearance, pass, repass, glide away, and mingle in an infinite variety of postures and combinations. It is evident that the mind has a great freedom in forming its ideas, and that the same object may be represented in the mind under several different aspects. Virtue is distinguished by the pleasure, and vice by the pain, that it communicates to the spectator. Wherever there is a moral obligation, the pain or pleasure that attends the action, though it may be felt by the person himself, must yet be regarded as proceeding from the sentiment of others. It is not the object of any of the senses. It cannot be represented by any image or picture, and it is even difficult for it to be described or expressed. The only morality of which we can have any knowledge is that which results from the general rules, which are formed from the observations of human nature. The chief spring or motive to the actions of men is their own interest, and this is so much the foundation of all morality that scarce any human creature is ever generous or just from the mere love of virtue. All our reasonings concerning matter of fact are founded on experience, and all our experience consists of particular facts. The only way of avoiding skepticism is to accept that sensory experience is the only source of knowledge. Our beliefs about the world are ultimately based on our senses, and our senses can be deceived. We should be skeptical of our own beliefs and always be open to new evidence. There is no such thing as absolute certainty, but we can still make reasonable judgments based on our experience. We experience constant conjunction between cause and effect, but we do not know why there is a connection between them. Our belief in causation is based on habit, not on reason. We should not expect to find a logical explanation for why things happen in the way they do. We must rely on induction to make generalizations about the world, but induction is not a reliable method. We should be cautious about drawing conclusions from our observations of the world. Human nature is governed by passions and emotions, not by reason. Our knowledge is limited by our senses and our experiences. We should not expect to understand everything about the world. We should be humble about our own knowledge and always be willing to learn from others. We should not be afraid to question our beliefs. Morality is based on sympathy and benevolence, not on reason or religion. We should act out of compassion for others, not out of fear of punishment or hope of reward. Religion is a product of human imagination, not of divine revelation. We should be tolerant of other people's beliefs, even if we disagree with them. We should not blindly follow authority, but should think for ourselves. Religion is nothing but a species of human science. Supernatural beings, such as God and angels, are the objects of faith and not of reason. The wise man never loses sight of the limits of human reason. The human understanding is limited in its ability to understand the universe. We should be skeptical of religious claims that cannot be proven or disproven by reason. Human nature is fundamentally selfish and motivated by self-interest. Humans are social creatures who form relationships with others in order to survive and thrive. The basis of society is cooperation and mutual benefit. Government is necessary to maintain order and protect individual rights. It is important to balance individual liberty with the needs of society. Emotions are essential for human motivation. The passions are the source of our actions. The passions can be both good and bad. We should strive to control our passions and act rationally. It is important to understand our emotions in order to live a happy and fulfilling life. Education is essential for the development of a free and enlightened society. We should strive to learn as much as we can about the world around us. Education should be open to all people, regardless of their social status or background. Critical thinking and intellectual humility are essential skills for lifelong learning. Education should not just be about acquiring knowledge, but also about developing our character and values. I hope these quotes from David Hume continue to stimulate your thinking and engage you with his insightful wisdom. His contributions to philosophy, particularly in the areas of epistemology, ethics, politics, aesthetics, and history, continue to be relevant and thought-provoking today.